everyone, Jack here from Nothing But Tech. I hope you guys are having a good week. Today I'm bringing you guys my live unboxing and first impressions of the iPhone 7 Plus. I actually did pre-order this on the pre-order day, but I guess so many people pre-ordered the unit that I wanted, so it took a little bit longer to get here, but nonetheless, here's my video on it. So this is the iPhone 7 Plus in the new black color, and Apple actually released two new colors this year. So they got rid of space gray, and they announced jet black and black. So jet black looks like one of the older iPhone models. It's very glossy, but it does pick up scratches and fingerprints like crazy. Whereas the matte black does also pick up fingerprints, but it's like less noticeable, and it also does not scratch as easy. Although it is slightly more slippery than the jet black, surprisingly. But if you're deciding between black and jet black, I would go black if you care at all about how your device looks after a year and about the resale value, because the jet black will age in about a week or so. Anyway, so a lot of people are actually calling this matte black, and it is matte black, but if you're looking on Apple's website, it's just called black. Okay, with that said though, let's get right into the box. The box is slightly redesigned. We now have the back of the iPhone up front instead of the front of the iPhone, I guess to show off the new dual cameras on the 7 Plus and also the new color. So I will be trying out those dual cameras, but the iPhone 7 Plus now has another feature that differentiates it over the 7. So the Plus line is known to have better camera features over the regular 4.7-inch lineup. And this year they did it again. They put a second lens on, so now you can get closer telephoto shots, and then you can also get wide-angled shots. Whereas the 7 has optical image stabilization now, which the Plus had over it last year, but it doesn't have two lenses. Obviously, with a bigger body, they can do more, but that's one advantage of the Plus, alongside a few other features that really made this the obvious decision, at least for myself, as I put that over the form factor, because the 7 Plus, not the ideal form factor. Anyway, so that's what you see on the front here. And then just a traditional white Apple box, but the actual way you take off the plastic is redesigned this year. You've probably seen so many unboxings that you know that. That sounds good. That's a lot easier, and props off to Apple's product packaging team, because they always find a way to make the product packaging awesome. This just came off very simply. No knife required. Okay, so here's the box. I'm not gonna waste any time. Let's just pop it open. And this year, we're not greeted with the iPhone. We're actually greeted with some paperwork. So in here, we just have a user starter guide. We have some information about the warranty. And then we also just have our traditional Apple stickers in their traditional white color. They're not color-coded like on the MacBooks, but not really that important. So here's the actual phone. Like we do in all unboxings, we're going to make you wait for it. So let's just move this aside, put it here. So underneath the phone, we have the wall wart. And then over here, we have our new Lightning earphones and the adapter. So they no longer come in a case, unfortunately. But on this side, we have the adapter. If you haven't heard it already, which I'd be surprised if you hadn't, but the iPhone 7 Plus and the iPhone 7 no longer have a headphone jack. So you're going to need this adapter to use any of your old headphones that use 3.5mm jacks. So Apple actually includes the adapter, which is very nice. If you lose it, it's only $9, but try not to. What I would recommend you do is just connect it to your favorite pair of headphones and just leave it there so you never forget it and you never lose it, as it is pretty small. But yeah, that's where you're going to need to listen to that. And then over here, we have our Lightning earphones. So if we pop this open, you can see the little lightning connector here. It's not going to be a big deal for people that invested in Bluetooth, but for people like myself that have a wide collection of 3.5mm headphones, this is a little bit of an adjustment. It's nice that they not only include the earphones though, but also the adapter. But let's move on to the more important stuff. I should quickly mention though that underneath that is just your little lightning cable. No big deal. Okay, so here's the phone. Absolutely looks amazing and feels amazing by just the sides. You can see the matte black color. Let's do my favorite part of any unboxing, peeling off the plastic, just so you can get a better look at the actual phone. So satisfying, you never really get sick of that. Okay, but the actual phone in the hand feels pretty great. It is a phone from the Plus lineup, and Apple seems really not to care about the actual form factor besides the thinness, because this phone, it's a really big phone. Probably you're not going to be able to use it in one hand unless you have really big hands, but for most people it's going to be a phone that you use with two hands, and that's because of really big bezels on both the top and the bottom, because something like the S7 Edge, which has the same screen size, is actually a much smaller form factor because it has really thin bezels. But that's kind of just the thing with iPhones, they always have big bezels and you just come to get used to it. This looks absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, it already has like a few fingerprints on it, but the actual antenna lines blend right into the phone, especially on the black model, on the gold and the rose gold on the silver. It will definitely be more noticeable, but on the black, it really blends in nicely. Over here, we have our two cameras. So we have, as I was saying before, a telephoto lens and a wide angle lens to get two different types of shots. It will go up to 2x times optically and then 10 times digitally, which is really nice and definitely a good feature to have if you're constantly zooming in at night. And then in terms of the actual color, it looks really great and it just feels really premium in the hand. And on the front over here, we have our Touch ID and home button. Don't be fooled though, this is not a button. So by removing the headphone jack, which you can see on the bottom over here, Apple was able to fit in a taptic engine. So now the home button actually does not click. So putting my hands on it now, that's actually very trippy. As you try to press it down, it doesn't move at all because it's just a piece of glass, kind of like their Force trackpads. You can pick what kind of click you want. It will allow you to do cool features. It might open up to developers to add cool different features in games and applications and stuff. This doesn't click at all when the phone's off, which actually means this is a cool tip for you guys that not many people know. If you need to hard reset your phone, you can no longer do it by holding those two buttons. So now you actually have to hold the lower volume button and the power button to hard reset. For normal shutdowns though, it's the same process as always. But yeah, that's what the actual phone looks like. But let's power it on. Okay, so it is on. It says hello. We have to press the home button to unlock it. Okay, that's a really weird sensation. As I was saying, it doesn't press, so you hear a sound which makes it sound like it's pressing, and you feel the sensation, but it's actually not moving at all. And the sensation doesn't feel as centralized as if it was a real button. It kind of feels like the whole bottom part of the phone. Okay, so now I just have to enable location services, and now I'm up to setting up Touch ID. So let's continue. Let's see how fast it is. Okay, the taptic feedback, like the vibration while setting up Touch ID, it definitely feels a lot more present than on the 6 Plus and the regular 6S. So that's pretty cool, and that was actually very, very fast to set up. So impressive on Apple's part, but Touch ID is always really fast. And like I do with every other iPhone, I set it up as a new phone. I don't know, there's something about that fresh feel to me that just I like more, and then I just transfer over the most important things from my iPhone and back the rest up to my computer. But I always like to set it up as a new phone. I don't know why. Okay, now on to setting up Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Okay, so now it's saying that if I just say Hey Siri, it will recognize me in the settings. Continue. I'm gonna pick to send them. Now it says meet the new home button. So make your iPhone experience even more personal by choosing just the right click for you. So they're trying to really sell this idea of the new home button. It was kind of unnecessary, but I guess they needed to say that they did something with that space. Maybe they'll enhance this and then next year there won't even be a button. I'm not sure, but I see Apple doing something bigger than just being able to give you 3 different options for your button. So get started. So option number 1, I like that. Option number 2, and option number 3. Okay, so option number 1, you can't feel it a ton unless your hand's actually on the back of the phone. But it feels a little bit less than the conventional home button. Option number 2 kind of feels very similar to the conventional home button in terms of what feedback you're getting, but you feel it more in the back of the device than you feel it in the front. And option 3 feels like more than the conventional home button. But I don't know, I kind of like that feel. So I'm going to keep it on option 3 for now. Most people will probably go for option 2. So next, now it says welcome to iPhone Get Started. You're greeted with a very beautiful screen. The colors look very accurate and vibrant. It's only 1080p, but if you didn't know, I use one Android device and one iOS device on a daily basis, so I can have both ecosystems. So my iPhone of choice that I was using was the regular 6S. So the 7 Plus now has a 1080p screen, which looks a lot better than the 720p found in the 6S. So I really like it, but compared to my Note 7, in terms of pure resolution, it's not near it, and in terms of pixels per inch and how crisp it looks, it's not near it, but color accuracy, it actually looks pretty good. Swiping back and forth for a second, it feels pretty fast. In terms of double clicking, I'm already kind of getting used to the home button. But let's check out one of the main new things, the camera. Okay, so I'm going to open up the camera app, and we're greeted with this new thing at the bottom that says 1x. If we press it, it changes to 2x. And what that is actually doing is it's changing the lens. So it's changing from one lens to the other lens. And then once you're in 2x, you can actually go to 10x via digital zoom. But 2x is optical zoom. So 1x, 2x, pretty fluid to change. You can also change in video. If you go over to video, you can change to 2x, and then you can only go up to 6 times in video, whereas in photo you can do 10, but that's still pretty good. Let's test out some shots. Okay, I'll take the Apple dock, which is actually the only way to listen to music and charge at the same time. That's a fun fact for you. And let's take a quick picture of it. Right there, perfect. And now let's do 2x. Take that picture for comparison. And now let's take a quick video. The 7 Plus has optical image stabilization, same as the 6 Plus, so that's pretty cool. So let's do that. How to move the camera around a little bit. So right now, this is your optical image stabilization test, and now here's your lens test. So here's the wide angle lens, and then here's the telephoto lens. and here's switching between them, and then here's zooming up to 6x. So that's actually pretty smooth. You can make it really smooth if you want. But that actually looks very good. And even at digital zoomed at 6 times, that still looks pretty good. So I am impressed for sure. Let's see how fast it focuses. Go up here. That focuses pretty fast. We'll see how fast that focuses. That also focuses pretty fast. So I am pretty impressed with the camera for sure. I'm obviously gonna have to see what it looks like once on my computer. But another thing that was also improved was the front-facing camera, or the Selfie Cam. So let's flip. It's now 7 megapixels instead of 5 megapixels, so it should look better. Let's snap a quick shot. And it's pretty fast and responsive also. You can definitely up your Snapchat game. Okay, so now on YouTube, I'm going to load up a 4K video that we always look at in my live unboxing. So if you want to go back and check out my other ones of the Note 7, the S7 Edge, the iPhone SE, you can kind of see what the screens look like and the sound quality is in comparison to this phone. So that will be a good point of reference. That's why I always like to use the same video. As always, I don't own this video, but this will actually serve as not only a video test, but a sound test, because the iPhone has an upgrade in speakers. So now this piece right here, the earpiece, doubles as a secondary speaker. So we have now technically stereo speakers. So we have one on the bottom and one up here, and that should give us louder, better quality sound. So we're gonna have to test that out. So let's load up the video. Okay, here it is on full volume. That actually sounds surprisingly really loud and really good. A big improvement over last year's iPhone, and I guess I kind of had to do that to make up for the no headphone jack, as a lot of people were not happy with that. But in terms of also the screen quality, in my opinion, this is the best 1080p panel on the market, period. Just because for the really accurate and vibrant colors and the crispness of a 1080p panel on a 5.5-inch screen. In terms of other things, stay tuned for the full review. These specific things you want me to cover in the video, if you want me to cover like heavily really battery life or performance or gaming or anything like that, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm expecting this to be a champ in performance because of the upgraded specs and the A10 Fusion chip, alongside the 3 gigabytes of RAM. And I'm expecting it to also do really well in battery life. But yeah, definitely let me know if you want that covered in a review. I'll bring you guys an in-depth review in a few weeks. So be sure to stay tuned and subscribe for that. And if you didn't know, I'm actually running an iPhone 7 giveaway right now. So if you thought this phone was awesome, but you don't have the money to afford one, you're in luck. Go check out that giveaway with a link in the description down below. And with all that said, be sure to follow me on Snapchat for more behind the scenes of this device to see how I like it. Follow me on Twitter and all my other social medias such as Instagram to see pictures of this device and also to have me answer your questions about it. And with all that information said, thank you guys all so much for watching. I'll catch you guys all in the next video.